Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. I was just admiring some of my snakes and I was struck by how nice my Venezuelan true redtail boas are looking. So I thought I'd give you guys a quick update video, show you my Venezuelan BCC, say a little bit about these guys and why I like the Venezuelan true redtail so much. So as you probably know, the Venezuelan true redtails are a little bit rarer than some of the other types of true redtails in captivity, like the Suriname, Guyana, and even the Peruvian true redtails. But they definitely have a lot of advantages that make them great captives. They don't get quite as big as some of the other redtails, with an adult being typically in the 5 to 6 foot range. This is actually a female who is now 4 years old. And she's from the Rio Bravo bloodline of Venezuelans, which comes from somewhere in southern Venezuela, although the exact locality is not known. And so this particular female shows you kind of the beauty of this locality of true redtail. They have kind of this nice golden color to them. A little more orangey than the Peruvians. The Peruvians are maybe a little more bright yellow. These guys are a little more bronzy with, more oranges. They have these cool bow tie shaped saddles in a lot of them, like this female. You can see they're kind of thin in the middle, quite symmetrical. The tail is kind of this nice reddish, a little bit more orangey red than like a Suriname, which is a little more brighter red. But definitely a beautiful looking animal. Very clean, high contrast. This particular female is maybe about 4.5 feet in length, probably getting pretty close to adult size. She actually was produced by my friend Mike Lucchese back in 2017. The mother of this female wasn't all that much bigger. The father was actually quite small. If I remember correctly, he was only like 3 years old when he sired the litter, and he was quite a bit smaller than this female. So these guys are probably getting pretty close to being ready to breed. As I mentioned, they're pretty hard to find. There's only been a few litters in the last few years that I've seen anyway. So hopefully there'll be more litters produced in the next few years, and these beautiful Venezuelan true redtails will be more widely available. This is my other female from the Rio Bravo line of Venezuelan true redtails. This is actually from the same litter as the female I just showed you, born in 2017. And this female I saw right after she was born. I knew there was something special about her because she just stood out from the remainder of the babies in the litter. She just had this super clean appearance, you can see. Just virtually no background markings between the saddles, and just very clean, shiny appearance. She almost looks like she's made of plastic or something. It's really a cool look. Kind of like a jungle-like appearance. I'm not saying it's the same as the jungle morph, but a similar type of very clean appearance. I've been able to find a few pictures online taken many years ago of a few other Venezuelans from this line that have a similar appearance. So maybe it's just some variability. Some of them look more like the female I showed you first. Others look more like this. You can see this female, not quite as yellowish, more of kind of a, golden. I don't know the exact color you can, see with your own eyes. But very clean appearance, almost looks like some kind of a morph thing is going on. And so I was really lucky to acquire this animal a couple years ago, when she was about 2 years old. Looking forward to breeding this one in a couple years, just to see if this look is genetic and what the babies might look like. She's probably getting pretty close to breeding size as well. Although she's a little bit smaller than my other female from this line. She was just a little bit smaller at birth and has grown a little bit slower. This is my male, also from that litter from 2017 that Mike Lucchese produced. Unfortunately, he's in shed now, so he's looking kind of dull. But another really clean, beautiful animal. It has more of the similar tight bow tie shaped saddles like the first female I showed you. And as I mentioned, I really like these Venezuelan true redtails. You don't see them very much, but the smaller sizes can be advantageous over some of the other true redtails. They tend to be pretty easy to keep as far as a true redtail. Maybe a little bit less prone to regurgitation and some of the other health issues that the Suriname and Peruvian true redtails are subject too. But just a really cool look. They're almost like kind of intermediate between like a Peruvian and like a boa from like southern Colombia, in the range of BCC in Colombia. That's kind of how I think of them. But it just shows you how the different localities of boa over South America kind of overlap in general appearance. I have one more bloodline of Venezuelan true redtail I'm working with, and that is known as the Tamatama or Tamatama Venezuela true redtail. And so these guys was from a bloodline that was established by Terry Cullen from founder animals collected at the village of Tamatama, which is at the confluence of the Orinoco and Casaquari rivers in southern Venezuela. And generally their appearance is pretty similar to the Rio Bravo bloodline. This is my male, who he's also going into shed, unfortunately, so he's kind of a little bit darker than he normally is. But they have this, beautiful golden brown coloration. This particular male has these peaked saddles. The head shape of the Venezuelans is noteworthy because they have kind of a shorter head shape in general, more short and stocky. More like a Colombian boa than a Peruvian boa, who tend to have the longer, kind of more wedge-shaped heads. And you can see he's quite small. This guy is now about 7 years old, pretty much full size. He's probably 4.5 feet long, so not a large form of true redtail boa. And so I've been trying to breed this guy to my female, who I'll show you in a minute. Unfortunately, I wasn't successful this year, so I'm gonna probably try again next year, maybe mix things up a bit, because I really would love to produce these Tamatama Venezuela true redtails, make them available, to you guys and other keepers out there. So hopefully that this type of boa can go on in captivity. Finally, we have my female Tamatama Venezuela true redtail. Unfortunately, she's in shed as well. She's normally a lot brighter than this. You can see her kind of milky belly and her opaque eye from the shed. But I thought I'd get her out anyway. She's actually gotten a little bit bigger. She's probably, I don't know, 5.5 feet or so now, my largest Venezuelan. And unfortunately, she didn't breed successfully this year with the male that I just showed you. So maybe we'll mix it up for 2022. But this animal, shows you the characteristics of the Tamatama. Based on just my two examples, they may be a little bit dirtier looking than the Rio Bravo, a little bit more freckling. The shape of the saddles may be a little bit different, but overall they're pretty similar. And I'm basing this just on a few animals, so to me they look pretty similar to the Rio Bravo bloodline. And these boas are from southern Venezuela. There are other types of boas from Venezuela, like the Paraguanera boas from the Paraguanera Peninsula in northwestern Venezuela, that are thought to be kind of intermediate between true redtails and boa imperator, although they're generally classified as boa imperator, whereas these are classified as boa constrictor. And so I hope you enjoyed this look at the Venezuelans. Again, great boas if you can find them, although they are kind of hard to find, but hopefully in the future that will change if more people are able to acquire breeding stock and successfully breed them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your boas.